Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, linebacker out of Newberry College, Edmond Robinson. Edmond, I appreciate you taking some time to chat today. How's it going?
Everything is going pretty well. I actually appreciate you giving me the opportunity just to talk and share some thoughts about me and the NFL coming up in the next few months.
Absolutely. Well, I got to say the pleasure's all mine, and we're definitely going to be getting to that. But first, let's talk a little bit about your time at Newberry College. Obviously, Newberry isn't the biggest school out there. I just want to start off by asking you a pretty simple question, and that is, coming out of high school, why did you decide to attend Newberry and play for the Wolves?
Well, actually, I wasn't highly recruited out of St. John's High School. It's a small 1A school, so not too many guys get their chances there. So actually, I just wanted to thank Coach Knight, actually, and the staff at Newberry College for giving me the opportunity to actually have a chance to play college football. I didn't have any offers coming out, so it was actually a really good fit and a really great experience.
All right, and during your first 2 years at Newberry, Edmond, you started 9 of the 14 total games that you played in, and you racked up a combined 71 tackles in those games. You were only able to play in 6 games as a sophomore before the season ended shortly due to a shoulder injury. And last season as a junior, you pretty much started where you left off as a sophomore. You really became a staple of that Newberry defense. No doubt you're already one of the team's best players. You were able to record 69 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. You forced a fumble and an interception. It was definitely an impressive season for you individually and team-wise. You guys ended the regular season 9-2 and made an appearance in the NCAA Division II playoffs, where unfortunately you guys were knocked off in the first round, but nonetheless, it was still a pretty successful season for you guys. With all that being said, Edmond, what were your expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final go-around at the college level?
Well, my first goal was just to improve on what I've done last year. I actually wanted to improve my stats and everything else, but as a team, I wanted the team to surpass what we did last year, having a 9-2 record. So I was just hoping to go undefeated, and we had high expectations coming in this year, but we fell a little short of that goal, but wanted the team to do better than we did last year, and also going to the playoffs, and I guess potentially to a national championship. And also, I guess personal-wise, I wanted to make repeat as an all-conference player, be a dominant player that I've been doing for the last few years. So I felt like I stood on track. So it was pretty good year.
Yeah, it was another very solid season out of you, Edmond. Individually, you were able to rack up 68 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, and 2 fumble recoveries. As a team, like you said, it probably wasn't the season that you guys expected. You guys finished 5-6. How would you describe not only this past season, but your overall college football experience at Newberry College?
My overall experience at Newberry has been pretty great. I've had some highs and I've had some lows, but nevertheless, I've managed to make it through. And on the field, I've had great experiences there. I've made a lot of big-time plays that I guess has attracted some attention from NFL scouts and NFL teams. So I think I did pretty well in that sense. So I really enjoyed my time at Newberry. I enjoyed my coaches there, and they actually helped put me in the right position that I am today.
Has it sunk in yet that you've played your final college football game for the Newberry Wolves?
I think once I graduated on December 13th and walked across the stage and got my diploma, it's something then that I won't ever be at that school again playing another game. Maybe I'll be there for a pro day or some private workouts or something, but it's definitely stuck in and sunk into my my brain and my heart that I won't be playing there anymore.
Chris Shanafelt talking to 2015 NFL draft prospect, linebacker out of Newberry College, Edmond Robinson. And Edmond, throughout your entire college football career, who would you say is the best or most impressive player that you've lined up against?
The best and most impressive player is probably a guy that I can say that I played with. He was actually on my team. His name is Corey Washington, and he's a wide receiver on the 53-man roster for the New York Giants. But some of the plays I've seen him make are incredible. I've actually watched him make these same type of plays in high school because I played against him in high school. We're kind of from the same area. It's just some of the things that he's done, and I've seen him done were spectacular. So he's probably the best player I've ever seen and played against because I often guarded him in practice at Newberry. So it was a great experience.
All right, you definitely can't go wrong with that. Like you said, he's on the 53 with the New York Giants. Any opponents stick out to you?
One opponent is probably Freddie Martino. He's also another wide receiver. He plays for the Atlanta Falcons. He's on the practice squad, but he was probably just as good as Corey. He didn't get drafted and whatnot. He took the same route, but he's broken every record in D2 football that you probably can think of. I mean, one game we played against him, we actually won the game 47-24, but he had like 12 catches for 200 yards. So he's a really good route runner and has really great hands, real crisp with his route. So he's probably one of the best players I've ever played against and had to guard. So.
All right, sounds good. Now, if you had to single out one, what's the biggest or most memorable play that you've made throughout your college football career at Newberry?
It would actually probably have to be maybe this year. We were playing away at UNC Pembroke, and it was on a third, I think it was like 3rd and 8, and we actually were winning the game by like 4, and it was like 2 minutes to go in the game, and they actually split their best receiver out wide. And being that I play on the wide side of the field, we were in man coverage, so I was manned up against their best receiver. And I can hear my head coach saying they're going to run a streak versus end. And that's exactly what they did. He ran a streak. The quarterback put the ball in a pretty good position. I actually deflected the ball out of his hands, and the game was basically over. Our offense came back on the field. Kneeled the ball maybe 3 times in a row, and we actually won the game. So, and it was actually their homecoming, so it was even sweeter to end the game for us that way.
Absolutely. It's always nice spoiling the opponent's homecoming. I mean, it doesn't get too much better than that. Now, like you said, a lot of talent is really coming out of Newberry College, like yourself, Edmond. You also mentioned the wide receiver, Corey Robinson. There are currently 3 former Wolves in the NFL today. Is there any chance that you've been able to talk to any one of those guys or really anybody that has had any type of experience at the next level? And have they given you any advice as to what to expect during this draft process?
Yeah, I actually keep in contact with all 3 of those guys. And they're Ron Parker for the Green Bay. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then there's Brandon Bostic, who plays for the Packers. And then Corey Washington plays for the Giants. And out of all 3, I maybe keep in contact more with Corey because we're a little more close. But I actually keep in contact with Brandon Bostic. He also says that anytime he's free, he'll come work out with me wherever I am. Keep up with Ron Parker, but those guys are giving me insight, just telling me that I need to work harder than any other guy because we're coming from a D2 school. A lot of people are not giving us any chance, so we have to go out there and prove. So they just give me a lot of insight, just telling me what I should expect throughout the process, the mindset that I should take in going into the All-Star game. And just know that you have to be better and you have to be that much more focused than everyone because a lot of eyes will be on you and a lot of people don't expect you to do well. So you just have to shock a lot of people into this process. Right
on now. What do you feel is your biggest strength as a linebacker?
I think my biggest strength is being able to cover receivers. The type of defense we played was a 4-4. So a lot of the times I was mostly on sometimes like a strong safety, but I also played outside on the edge in the box. But I think my biggest asset is that I guess a lot of people wouldn't really think that because I'm 6'2", 245 that I can cover, but I can actually cover receivers or tight ends or running backs out the backfield. So that's probably my biggest asset.
And how about a weakness? Is there anything specific that you'll be taking some time to improve on during the off season?
In the offseason, I'll be improving on my ability to play inside the box. A lot of scouts come through Newberry and say, well, we're not sure if you can play in the box. You do have the intangibles, the size, the speed, the strength, but we want to see if you can play. So these next few weeks, I will be training for that, and I've been training for that since football season ended for us. So in the East-West Shrine game, I'll be able to show scouts that I can to play inside the box and read guards and make plays and make calls.
All right, very nice. You know, of course, I don't need to tell you this, but the more you can do, the better. So that's definitely great to hear. Now, let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want linebacker Edmond Robinson out of Newberry College a part of his team?
I believe he should want me because I believe, first, that I'm a great man and a great human being, but secondly, that no one's going to outwork me, and the passion that I have for football is probably through the roof. I'm going to be the first one on the field or in the weight room. I'll be the last one leaving, and that I want to learn from the best, and I want to learn and feed off of other guys. So any chance that I get, I'll be asking questions. I want to do what I can so I can make the 53-man roster and possibility of starting one day. But I want to be the best linebacker there is, whether I'm from a small D2 school or whether if I did go to like a D1 school. But I want to be the best, and the only way to be the best, you have to outwork the best that's already there. So that's my mentality that I've been taking the last few years, and it's what got me here where I'm at. So I'm going to continue to use that and take strides forward.
Well, it definitely looks like it's working out well for you, Edmond. Now, when did you realize that the NFL may not only be a dream, but it could become a reality? You know, like you said, you weren't really highly recruited out of coming out of high school. You go to a small school, Newberry College. Was there a specific time or moment where you realized that, man, you know what, maybe I really could play at the next level?
It was probably one day in practice, maybe 2 years ago, and a lot of the guys were like, Ed, you know, you can really do this. Like, you got what it takes to make it to the NFL. And I was like, it's always been a dream of mine, but hearing other people say it, and then once you get on the field and you put in the work in, and after listening to guys like Brandon Bostic and seeing what those guys did in practice and what they did on their own, saying that if you want to make it, then this is what you have to do, plus more. So I started taking some of those same regimens that those guys had, and I started doing what those guys were doing, put a little twist on it that I learned from other players, and I started seeing the results. My junior year is really that year where I got bigger and got faster, and I realized that I really can do this, and it all worked out for me.
You know what? I totally forgot to ask you this. It was your sophomore year that got cut short due to that shoulder injury. How's the shoulder feeling nowadays?
The shoulder is great. I haven't had any problems since the injury. I only played 6 games that year, so I played roughly about half a season, and I rehabbed, and I came back, and I was ready to go again in the spring. And it's like it's never happened to me, so everything's A-okay for the moment.
Perfect. Chris Shanafelt talking to 2015 NFL draft prospect, linebacker out of Newberry College, Edmond Robinson here on the CS Podcast. And Edmond, just a few more questions before I let you go. I really do appreciate your time. If you would compare yourself to somebody currently playing in the NFL, who do you think that would be and why?
Well, I think I'm more of like a mixture between a few guys. And I think Patrick Willis is one of those guys that has the ability that he has to strike and run from sideline to sideline. I think I have that ability. Cam Chancellor for the Seahawks, he's not an outside linebacker, but he sometimes plays in that role, and the ability that he has to cover tight ends and running backs and also play down in the box and strike defenders. And then also I think a little bit of like Tom Mahaly, who plays for the Chiefs, he rushes the passer, but he also drops in coverage, and I feel like I have the ability to rush the passer, but I can as well drop in coverage and also play man on, I guess, receivers or tight ends, running backs, H-backs, anything. So I think about those three players I would at least compare myself to.
That's a hell of a comparison, Edmond. I mean, sounds like you're a jack of all trades.
Yes, sir.
Recently, I know you were invited to the East-West Shrine game, a college football all-star game for some of the top NFL prospects in the country. I believe you are the first Newberry Wolf to ever be invited to this game. Are you excited to compete with some of the best talent in the country in front of NFL scouts?
I am excited. It's a dream for me just to even be playing in a game like this. I've been wanting this my whole life, and just to give the opportunity is amazing. And I just want to go out there and show that it doesn't matter the logo that's on your helmet or what's on your jersey, but if you're a good player, then people are going to find you. I figured myself to be a good player, and people found me, so I want to go out there and show exactly what I can do against top competition.
And speaking of scouts, I got to think they've been in and out of Newberry. Any chance that you've been able to speak with any or have any idea what they might be saying about you?
I've actually spoken to majority of all the scouts that came through. There was a few that I couldn't talk to, but most of the time I talked to all of them, and a lot of them just saying the same things, that you have great intangibles, and you have big hands, and you can run, and you can cover, and a lot of them are also saying that we just want to see if you can play like a true inside backer, and it's like going to the East-West Shrine game will be great for you. It's great exposure, and it'll also give us an idea if you can actually play that true inside backer that we're looking for. So it's a great challenge for me, but I'm all up for challenges. And I've been all up for challenges my entire life, so it's working well. So all I can do is exceed from here.
Yes, sir. That's definitely great to hear. Now, last but not least, here's a fun one to end the interview. What's something about yourself that many people may not know?
I think many people may not know that I'm a drummer. I play the drums at my church. My mom, she's also the pastor, so I have a very musical family. I have 4 other brothers, and out of the 4 other brothers, 3 of them sing, and out of the 3, one of them, he plays the drums, and he sings as well, and the other one, he plays the keyboard. So I guess we have like a little band or something you want to call it, but we're very musically inclined, so.
All right. Did not know that. How about your singing skills? You got any?
My mom, she always says that she thinks I'm the best singer of them all, but I'm not the singer. I would never sing in church. I'd probably never sing up in front of someone unless it was like a rookie thing and they asked me to sing, then I'll do it. But other than that, I'm not a big singer.
All right. Then I won't ask you to show your skills here on the show. But, Edmond, I really do appreciate your time, man. It really was great speaking with you. I'm certainly wishing you nothing but the best of luck throughout this process. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
I don't. It was a great interview, and I'm really appreciative that you would give me a call and just ask me some questions.
Absolutely. The pleasure's all mine, Edmond. Once again, thank you very much, and take care, all right?
All right, you too.